Up and Adam gang, it is time to be joined by Nancy Cahalen from the Better Business Bureau. She joins us each and every Tuesday at this time. Keep us safe. And listen, do you know what check washing is? This is a term that I'm really not familiar with, and Nancy's going to tell us about it today because check fraud's a serious problem out there. Nancy, good morning.
Good morning. Yeah, check use is declining. You don't really write as many checks, and but you would think that would slow down the fraud, but it's not. It's still a very serious problem. In fact, check fraud has increased. It's doubled since 2021. So with less checks being written, this makes no sense, right? So how does check washing work? So what happens is if you put your check out in the mailbox to mail it somewhere, someone can actually drive by before the mailman does and pick up your mail. They can take those checks out and they can use different substance to kind of wash off the ink that you wrote on there and write the check out to a different individual for a different amount. And so it is exactly what it says it is. It's check washing. So you may, So they use a lot of different techniques to intercept mail. Sometimes they also steal mail from the big blue mailboxes, and they've even been known to sneak into post office boxes with stolen keys to intercept mail. So your mail is very valuable. That's your personal information. It's very valuable, both mail coming in and mail going out, and you want to protect that. So once they find an envelope with a check in it, they use just regular household chemicals to wash off the name and the amount that you wrote on it. And they put on the name they want, the dollar amount they want, and they use fake identities to cash the checks later on. So even if no one cashes your check, you're at much higher risk of identity theft once it's been found and is in the scammer's hands. So there's a number of things we can do to prevent this from happening, but as I said, it's not a rare occurrence. So you need to be mindful. I have some stats here that say the postal inspectors recover more than $1 billion in counterfeit checks and money orders every year. I mean, when I hear these numbers in the billions, I'm astounded by some of these scams. The dollar amounts that they've applied to them. So, first off, don't mail checks if you can avoid it. Use electronic payment methods. We have most of your bank accounts are going to offer you a electronic pay opportunity with your account, so you can pay someone electronically from there. And it's just like checks. They receive the amount from you, and you can keep track of it. If you must mail a check, take precautions. Don't leave it out by the road in your mailbox and then drive off to work. Drop it off at the post office. Use the lobby mail slot instead of in a mailbox out, with the flag up, or in the blue box on the corner. So, and don't leave unsent mail in your mailbox overnight. Always retrieve your mail properly. Don't leave it out there. So, sometimes you drive by homes and you see all this mail in their mailbox. You say, wow. They must be on vacation.
Exactly.
So that's another thing. If you're going on vacation, put a hold on your mail. Don't let it accumulate out there, because it's just a red flag to the scammers that they can stop by and help themselves. There are tips about the types of checks that you use as well when you order checks. I don't know about you, but I think I don't want anything fancy. I get the cheapest thing they have, right? Well,
exactly.
That might be short-sighted. It might cost a few dollars more, but they have high security checks that have chemically reactive paper and watermarks and holographic identifiers and all that stuff built into them. So that's something, next time you reorder your checks, that's something you might want to look at. And avoid writing in blue ink. Now, this is the color I use because I wanted to stand out from the black ink that's printed on
Right.
the page. So I learned a lot from this one, Hank. But
I will tell
avoid
you.
writing in blue ink, ballpoint pens, and markers because they'll wash off easily. Instead, you want to get a black gel pen because that will form a bond on the paper and it's real hard for them to wash off. So
Nancy,
who knew
yeah.
that?
Right. No, this is so
It's-
eye-opening.
yeah.
When you said that we were going to talk today about check washing, I honestly didn't think that it would be so literal what people were doing. And it really does make me think about my mailbox and just sort of knowing what time the mailman comes, because he usually comes about the same time each day, and maybe making sure that I'm down there to grab anything if I'm expecting a check to come in the mail, because this is really, as I said, I'm flabbergasted. This really is eye opening that there are people who are out there and doing it. As we always say, these fraudsters, they are so they're clever, and they really know their stuff. If only, Nancy, they would put all this time into doing good instead of into doing evil with the amount of time that they spend coming up with all these schemes.
Absolutely, they are very clever. And looking at this scam, this is really low tech. They see the flag up on your mailbox.
Yeah.
They swing by, pick up your mail. They go home. They use I don't know what they use. It's a household chemical.
Yeah.
It could be Mr. Clean for all I know. They wash off the stuff you've written on the check, replace it with something else, and they're off to the races. So it's very, very low tech. And I didn't realize just how often it happened. It's $680,000 in 2022. So that's a good chunk of change.
It sure is.
And it has doubled. Yeah, it's on the rise, even though we're writing less checks. So, keep an eye on your checking account. If you see anything there, it could be you sent a check to someone, they say they never got it, but you're looking at your account and it says it was cashed. Well, that could be the result of a check washing scam.
Wow, that really is something. Nancy, thank you for bringing this one. This was fascinating, as well, of course, as being educational and keeping us safe. People want to make sure that they are keeping up with the latest scams. They're following Scam Tracker. They're following the BBB. How do they do that?
Well, you can go to bbb.org, and there's a place to sign up for our monthly newsletter. If you and you can, there's lots of information there. I'll tell you that this information is going to be in our newsletter, which will be going out on Saturday. So that's the type of information we include every month. And if you need to talk to an individual, give me a call. I'm at 508-552-0350. Now, I might not be the right one to solve your problem, but I'll put you in the right hands.
Very good.
This is a big deal. And if somebody steals your mail, you report it to the postal inspector as well, because they will track this down. They take that very seriously.
Absolutely. Nancy Cahalen, Better Business Bureau, thanks for being with us.
Oh, it's my pleasure. Thanks again for having me on.